Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Always the overlay problem.
You missed the spawn positions. Now you can see them, everybody. So congratulations, it's awesome. E.g., Idra, of course, taking a hash first as per his usual style. Um, but yeah, no. Like you said, last game, very good by Idra, able to hold it off just long enough. But I feel like the problem with Puma there is that timing attack. He didn't do it. He didn't go for that timing attack, which meant that Idra was, like I said, able to macro up, sit back, do whatever the heck he wanted. Which, I mean, there was a lot of harassment, but unfortunately, Idra was just like, oh, you killed 12 of my drones, I'll just make 45.
You killed 12 of my drones. Prepare to die. My name is Inigo Montoya. Oh, great movie. Uh,
Excellent one.
it looks like we did see Hatch first once again out of Idra here. Very, very popular by him, apparently, as he has done it
That's very
three
safe.
games in a row. Yes, it is very safe, but not as safe as a spawning pool first, obviously. But it looks like Idra doesn't care, now setting down that command center for Puma. Puma, once again, going for that one Rax expand. Very popular, and taking both his gases.
Both these players are very glad and very happy to take these very early expansions here. Um, it's I completely lost my train of thought there, but both players, of course, very happy to macro up, sit back, and just go into the late game. And I feel like that's where Idra shines. Puma's very good with multi-pronged harass, multi-prong attacks, really good with that kind of stuff. But in the late game, Idra tests even him.
Yes, indeed. Idra, obviously renowned for his late game play for the longest time, ever since really the when he started playing. He has just been the macro god of the foreigners.
Hmm. Well, Idra is, of course, arguably one of the best foreigners in the world here. I know very many Korean players have definitely said that he is easily the best foreign Zerg. And thinking about it, he's definitely very powerful. There's very few names who are even anywhere near his caliber when he's not on tilt, of course. Which, of course, it is Idra, so you have to mention a couple times he does go on tilt, and when that happens, he definitely does fall behind a little bit. And of course, this series, he does have a little bit of curse with MLG. Of course, this wasn't for MLG, but if he does lose the first game in a series, he almost never takes the series. So we'll see if that holds
Indeed.
true. Um, but I mean, Idra definitely strong enough to get himself over that and calm himself down, as we saw in the last game.
Yes, I believe he was something like 0-2 in 0-22 in series that he lost the first game in, and finally was able to break that at the last MLG. We are going to see Reactored Hellions out of Puma once again. Very popular play. Been
Ooh, what was
around
this?
since I don't know. I'd say that when it got the most popular was back at
Well,
MLG Dallas with the Slayers coming in with that.
yeah, it was a very popular Slayers build. That was, of course, before the nerf. But I do have to mention here real quick, Puma almost seeming like a one-trick pony here in this last couple games. Really, he hasn't done any style other than this reactored Hellion build. That being said, he is going for Starport here instead of going for any sort of just mass Hellions. Getting a little bit supply blocked here. Hopefully that's not too much of a problem. Got two more on the way. Actually supply blocked for a decent amount of time here, which is slightly unfortunate for him. Wow, yeah, this was actually a very nasty supply block for Puma. Um,
Yes,
but
it
yeah,
was.
really, seemingly only really doing for these couple builds, and I feel like Idrid knows how to deal with it at this point.
Yes, he might be known for only a couple builds, but damn it, he is really good at those two builds. We do finally see Stimpack being researched in this game, and now actually switching out the factory to put a barracks down
There we
on that
go.
reactor. So it looks like we will be seeing a bit more biological play this game rather than mechanical play.
Hmm.
For once, Metabolic Boot's just about to finish up for Idra. And it should be interesting to see if how Idra reacts to this, because really we've just seen him go Zergling Muta and Roach Muta. So, Muta.
Very true. Muta's, of course, extremely good in this matchup. That being said, though, I'm looking at this infrastructure that Puma does have. He's building a reactor on this factory, so he may or may not decide to go for tanks here. He might just go a lot of bio, which I haven't actually seen very often, of course, because Banelings are extraordinarily powerful against that particular style of play. No, but there he goes, lifting up, and I believe that's going to be a tech lab being built on that now. Just going for very heavy marine. Probably gonna be Marine tank. No, another reactor?
Yes,
Idra,
it is.
what you doing?
I'm wondering if that reactor might be for the starport in a few moments. What I want to draw your attention to is the income tab, where it is 60 harvesters to 41 in favor of EG's Idra. Idra already taking his third base, gearing up to be able at least to take his fourth base at that gold. Idra is going to be looking really scary if Puma doesn't try to kill some drones soon.
It looks like he heard you, and he is more than happy to oblige. Going out here with a couple of medevacs, a nice handful of Marines here. And I mean, that normally wouldn't look too scary, but of course, Idra, 60 harvesters, like you said. So that means his army is only about 10, 15, 20 supply.
Yes, it is. Now, this attack is starting to push in. It does manage to kill one Spine Crawler out in front. Moving down for the second one, these Marines did get stammed, but the medevacs are there to heal it. Both Spine Crawlers have now gone down. There are Zerglings and Queens left over here to defend. That Evolution Chamber in a nice place to stop the run up the ramp. However, a little bit of a surround by the Zerglings, but there just aren't quite the numbers. There go the rest of the Zerglings. That's what we need to see from Idra, and it looks like Idra going to be just fine in this battle.
Oh yeah, a ton of Zerglings spawning there. Gonna be able to deal with that. Not a problem at all. Ooh, nice little move of Puma. Gonna be able to save a couple of those units, but with these 9 Mutilas spawning, they could have very well chased these down.
Yes, and it looked like Puma is gearing up to go pull those Marines, put them back down at the third base, and attack that. Now, Idra is a little bit out of position. Idra went over to defend the gold base, which did not get dropped. So Puma is going to have free reign over this hatchery, and it almost actually looked like he could have done a little bit of damage. Oh, now going back in. Now here come the rest of the Zerglings, and now he's going to need to pick up and get out.
Oh yeah, for sure. But unfortunately, he is going to be able to be chased down pretty easily there. Of course, there is a couple Mutilas here, and they are going to not be able to get that medevac. The rest of the Marines there, the reinforcements going to be able to force those Mutas back. Nice little map awareness move there by Puma. He has scouted all the bases of Idra, so he knows what's coming for him. So he knows he has to do something, and he has to do it fast.
Yes, he does. There's quite the biological force in the middle. A lot of Marines dancing around in a little circle. Now finally going back. Idra has already taken his fourth base. Puma does not have his third yet. He does have his third command center, but is not really ready to do anything.
First tank hit in the field for Puma as well. Really, at this point, he's almost looking like he wants to sit back, macro up, simming the Marines to kill rocks. Of course, those rocks, got to catch them quick. Going to be able to kill those fairly quickly here. Command center just waiting. It is just staring at those where those rocks are. Really wants to land. It is tired of hanging up in the air. So it's going to go ahead and start flying over there for Puma. Of course, Idra, gold, going to start getting saturated at any moment. Third, not quite saturated yet. So I'm not sure where all of his drones are. I mean, he does have, I guess it is
78.
fairly saturated.
He has 78 drones. You'd think that he'd pull some. It looks like well, no, actually, I would agree. He does have very good saturation. Now, we do have Mutilas pushing into the main of EG Puma down at the southern part of that peninsula. However, it is going to be pushed back by Marines. Oh, now the Mutilas looking. They just want to take out the supply depot. Idra, it only has 40 health left. You're going to drive my OCD crazy. There it goes. 2 health, 1 health. It goes down and actually supply blocks Puma.
Yeah, those Marines were watching that supply depot burn down, and they were having a nice warm up by the fire there. Shattered Temple, it doesn't exactly look all that cold, but who knows? They were actually just thanking those Mutalisks.
No kidding. I actually just real quickly want to say that I love this map because it is a reincarnation of the ever popular Lost Temple from Brood War with just a couple of slight modifications.
To make it about 8,000 times better. Do you remember that ridge? Do you remember tanks on that ridge?
Oh, goodness,
That's all I have to say.
We do have Mutilas pushing into the third base of EG Puma, able to take down 1 missile turret, but there are 3 missile turrets there. It looks like he's a little bit afraid to engage us. Now going back in, he has the rest of the Mutilas there. There are a lot of Mutilas here. There are almost 24 Mutilas once again. That seems to be the money number for Idra, as I've seen him move out time and time again with this exact number of Mutilas. However, in the end, the Marines are able to force him back. Not much damage done.
I do want to bring your attention to not the Harvester, because that was a very high pitch, to just the supply count. Idra not that far ahead. I mean, he is up an additional base to his Terran opponent, but really not that far ahead in the supply count. A lot of Zergs at this point will be supply capped at 200. We do see a drop flying by, and these Overlords will scout that, so the Mutalisks, we should see them turn around in just a second and go take that out.
Yes, they will. We do have 8 Banelings on the way now for EG's Idra. There's a lot of Banes. There is a drop about to go on in the main, but it looks like these Mutilas haven't scouted out so much. Not a single Mutalisk goes down, and 8 Marines and a medevac are taken out instantaneously.
And it's absolutely essential for a Zerg player to have those Mutalisks on pretty much drop patrol, making sure that that the drops do not get in, do not do a lot of damage, so you can freely macro up as Idra has done. He is sitting nice and pretty at 81 drones to his opponent's 57, and he's got a lot of Mutalisks and he's got a lot of Zergling Baneling on the field, and really Puma's army just it's very very spread out, so we don't really get the size of it, but it just seems so small.
Yes, it does. Now, there's been a very nice series of attack and counterattack. We've seen drops by Puma into the main, into the third base, and into the fourth even down here. And at the meantime, Idra just flying these Mutalisks around, and he poked and prodded a little bit at the third of Puma, and he poked and prodded a little bit at the second of Puma. A very nice little series by these two players. It's very interesting to watch. Oh, and it looks like this Marine Ball is going to almost get caught out of position a little bit with Zerglings and Banelings. However, Puma does pull that back right at the perfect time. That was a very close call for Puma.
Oh yes, very much so. So many Zerglings and Banelings on the field at this point. I mean, if we do look at the production or the unit tab, we do see, I guess it's only 80 Zerglings and 17 Banelings on the field, but I feel like that's more than enough to deal with the bio of Puma. And there go the Mutalisks, going to go ahead and poke in here to the main base, going to go ahead and take a missile turret, no problem. All those Marines going down instantly, and now these SCVs are scared for their life. It looks like Puma's just going to go ahead and sacrifice that, moving out with his army. He thinks he's got enough to deal with Idra's army. He's going almost a little bit all in, sacrificing his main here.
Yes, he is. Now, Idra doesn't decide to pull his Mutalisks back in the end, sending his Marine fourth to go take out the hatchery at the gold base. However, here comes a massive army of Zergling Baneling for Idra, and Mutalisks coming in from the back. Those are grouped up right next to the Thor, though. That could be disastrous for Idra. Now, all these Banelings do explode, but a lot of those go down on the tanks and Thors. However, it looks like Idra is going to clean up this battle just fine with that hatcheries, with those broodlings spawning out of that hatchery, actually. That's something you don't see too often, is when Puma killed his hatchery, Idra actually took the broodlings from it and sent them into the combat and used them to help his Zerglings get the surround on that group of Marines there.
Yeah, and the really telling part of that battle is, yeah, he got a hatch there, which is it does cripple a little bit of the production of Idra, but he only killed 5 harvesters there, whereas Idra, with that attack in the main, killed 27 SCVs. And I mean, we do see in the production tab, of course, Puma is upgrading level 2. He is getting a lot, 10 Marines at a time, as well as a tank, couple medevacs, whereas Idra's getting his ground carapace level 2, plus a couple additional hatcheries, getting that 4th base set up. I mean, Idra's just looking so solid in this game.
Yes, he is. Zergling's coming in and denying that 4th base. In the meantime, we do have a huge swarm of Mutalisks coming into the main. There are 1.5 pages of Mutalisks able to do a little bit of damage. Now, picking off a dropship full of medevac. I think that is a dropship full of medevacs, a dropship full of Marines. I believe that is the 3rd full dropship. Now, a bunch of Marines and some tanks coming up to take out the Zerglings that were up at the 4th base, and the Mutalisks coming back in to do a little bit more harassment in the main.
Well, I mean, those Zerglings made that command center lift off, killed a couple SCVs in there as well, and ooh, Idra looks like he's decided he's going to go ahead and go for a little bit of a newfangled style. He's going to go ahead and get a couple infestors added to this army, which I completely agree with, as the Mutalisks kill the engineering bay in the main base.
Yes, that'll be nice. Oh, and Thor's landing, 2 huge hits. So many Mutalisks go down right there. I think about half of the Mutalisks fell in those 2 Thor shots. That is devastating for EG's Idra. Now, once again, I do like... Oh, and hold that thought, as there are more Zerglings forcing that 4th base to lift off for EG Puma. I do like the idea of Infested in this matchup. Infested versus Biologic Unit is obviously so powerful, and we are seeing a Greater Spire as well on the way.
Uh-oh. We see a huge push coming out of Puma, and Idra not having anything other than these Mutalisks.
But he sent a huge amount of Zerglings down into the natural expansion of EG Puma, and a lot of things are going down. A lot of SCVs died. However, this 5th base is surely going to go down to all of this pressure. Zergling's still running around in the natural, just about to get cleaned up. Now, a Thor did get picked up by a medevac to save that. The 5th base does go down for EG Idra. Not too big of a deal, though, as he does have still 2 mining bases. He can afford to lose a little bit of time here. More Zerglings about to stream into the natural, and there's just not much there to defend for EG Puma. So it looks like we are seeing a semi-base race here. I don't think this will bring us to the end game, but it'll bring us quite close.
I mean, I actually can't... I can't tell whether or not I agree with the decision from Idra, because he did lose that 5th, and he might lose this gold here, actually. A lot of drones are going to be going down, simply because of this position of these siege tanks, and the Thor is going to go ahead and start to take out these rocks, possibly move up to this this gold base. What happened is he let the Terran army get up in his face, and I mean, both players is very low on supply, but Puma's army just so strong simply because his supply is almost all in his army at this point.
Yes, it is. It's Puma sitting at 2-2, the Zergling sitting at 2-3, and the Mutalisk at 0-2. So actually both armies upgraded very, very well. Now Puma lost so much production, so many supply depots, still losing more. There are so many Zerglings still here in the main base of Puma, or I should say the remnants of the main base. Everything died for Puma. It is 81 to 136 supply. My goodness, that was a devastating attack by Idra, but at the same time, it was a devastating attack by Puma. I don't really know who came out ahead in that battle.
Well, Idra deciding he didn't like his other half of the map, so he's just going to go ahead and take part of Puma's half of the map. Go ahead and take 2 hatcheries up here, actually within sensor tower range. And really Puma holding on to the bastion of hope that is this gold base and this high ground, I guess it was his 3rd. Idra can, at this point, just take the entire rest of the map. And it looks like he's just going to go ahead and mass infestors at this point.
I mean, why not, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Broodlords. We do have a Corruptor on the way.
One of them.
Oh, there we go. There's 4 more now. Now this gold base being forced to lift off. Not really much left here. Only 2 mineral patches with a combined about 400 minerals left on them. So not really losing too much by losing this base, except a single engineering bay.
But he is losing his last real bastion of hope. I mean, Puma caught in a corner. He is cornered as well cornered can be.
Yes, he is caught between a rock and the hard place, a rock being Idra and a hard place being the boundaries of the map. You cannot move past those edges as much as you would be able to like to. Idra at 116 supply, it looks like he's hurting a little bit trying to get remacroed into this game. Both players, Puma actually on a little bit of a bank, just does not have the production facilities. Idra at least has the production, but does not have the income.
Well, I mean, Puma really doesn't have an income either. I mean, neither of them really having anything at this point. This is a weird game. I mean, Puma just sacrificing his main, sacrificing his natural, sacrificing his gold, and just basically praying and huddling up close and tight up in this this corner base and macroing up with everything he has and hoping that one big push is going to solve all of his problems here. And Idra just built a couple of units when he should have built drones here. I feel like if he sits back, macros up a little bit, while losing every single drone up here in the in this little weird base that he made in Puma's area of the map.
Yes. Man, I don't know if I agreed with Idra expanding all the way up there. It seemed a little bit risky. However, he does currently have 4 Broodlords on the field with another one on the way, and Neural Parasite. Actually, that is an upgrade that you do not see too often. That is just about to finish up, and I feel like once he gets that last Broodlord and that Neural Parasite finished up, that might be his moment to push out a little bit.
Yeah, both players sitting at just right around the 100 mark in supply, 80 for Puma, 109 for Idra. This is such an odd game. Idra sitting at, like I said, 109 supply with 5 Broodlords on the field. And those 5 Broodlords, unfortunately, not actually going to do very much against this army. And they might get caught out of position here. No, maybe not. Okay, yep, here's the rest of the army coming in for Idra, and Puma running home with his tail beneath his legs.
Yeah, tried to run home, but these Zerglings did catch up. Now Banelings hitting all the tanks. That is not what you want to hit. Now getting a few Marines. All the Thors do fall, and there are a lot of Marines left, but here come the Infestors. There are so many Infestors along with these Broodlords, and this is going to clean up this little Marine army right here. That may have been the last hope for EG Puma, as he just does not have much left. He has 18 Marines left on the field, a Marauder, and 20 SCVs. And there is the GG from Puma in this series. So EG's Idra able to take out Puma 2-1 in that matchup.
Absolutely incredible play there from Idra. That was such an odd game there at the end, but just incredibly well done by Puma here, or by Puma and Idra, of course, but Idra just able to take out Puma in the end. Just really good control, able to force Puma to GG. Just really, turning point in that game was once again, Idra was allowed to macro up, not a lot of timing attacks, not a lot of anything.
Yes, oh my goodness, that was a great game. Once again, Puma, I guess, just shouldn't have let all this Zergling sit in his natural and eventually push up into his main while he took out Idra's fifth and sixth base. That was a very intense matchup. I would rate that 5 stars if there was a rating system. That was awesome.
Yeah, I have actually no idea where this is from, simply because I know this is not the NASL semifinal, simply because no spoilers. But but yeah, really well done by Bidra there.
Yes, it was. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Coffee Cast Professional Edition. This was EG Puma versus EG Idra.